Hello, House of Mercy Reviews here, and yeah, let's get started. Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, actually, one more thing. Given that this is a review in theme for Halloween. Yeah, why not? Geez, I forget the last time I did a review in this years ago. Anyway, so I guess it's worth mentioning Five Nights at Freddy's. I have played the video game, or the video games, but the thing is, I've only ever played the first game, and I think you can kind of guess as to why. Just once was enough with all those jump scares and that. But the thing is, I am aware of the popularity of this series, and it's not to say I haven't dabbled into some of the other material. Like I've read you know, I like looking at internet videos of the lore and all that, and I've touched a few of the books here and there. But yeah, in terms of the games, I've only ever played the first one, and that was actually when it first came out, like in 2014. Jeez, almost 10 years. I was in high school. I was in the middle of high school. Man, surprising when you think about just how much time has passed on since then. But with that said, this movie's been in development for a very long time. Like I would say, literally, I think after the third game came out, it started being conceptualized, and then eventually into production. Chris Columbus was originally supposed to direct it, then he bowed out, and someone else took over. Scott Cawthon is producing this, so he has control. And, okay. So, let's just get on with it. For a person who hasn't played really only one game, this only covers the first game, which is good. Although elements such as cameos of other animatronics in the other games do make cameos. But, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But anyway. Our protagonist is Mike Schmidt, the character, the person you controlled as in the first game. He is I would say, early 20s man who is struggling to find work and is being haunted by by an event in his past that tragically happened, where his younger brother was taken away, was kidnapped, and died in captivity. You can guess where this is going with if you're aware of the series. He's been placed in care. He's the guardian of his younger sister, born after his which I don't know the age of the sister actually, and he's determined and in order to keep custody, he has to find a job. Problem is because of his traumatic experiences, traumatic past, he's having trouble, keeping a job until his work counselor recommends him a job as a security guard at the rundown pizzeria, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. His sole task just watching the cameras from night from night to morning, making sure no one wrecks the place. What he doesn't know is when he gets there, and at least till the third night, basically, yeah, a little surprising, basically. He doesn't figure it out sooner. Or the animatronics of Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are secretly alive and run around the pizzeria when when no one is looking. So Mike has to keep at it and work out why the animatronics are the way they are. Um, yeah. Okay. Maybe it's best I don't have us on fully, otherwise I might yeah. But anyway, basically, let's just go over what I think is the best thing about this. Well, when I think of the series, I think of two things: the lore and the overarching story, and the jump scares. And I think in terms of a movie, the most important thing is the story. And when it comes to keeping to the essence of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, I think it's actually done pretty well here. They've kept all the history of this, you know, this universe, this game's overarching story, pretty much intact. I mean, yeah, they've you know uh, toned it down a bit because this is the first movie, and I mean, you can't go full on into the medium of game, how the books and the games all you know build it up. But for what it is, they kept to the lore pretty close. I mean, the reasons why the animatronics are the way they are is the same. The and obviously the main threat is obviously the main overarching threat in the series as well. So yeah, they did well with that, and I think Scott Cawthon definitely made sure they did the filmmakers follow that to a to a you know to the best of their abilities, and it's clear he made sure about that. And yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, and you can and when I was in watching this in theaters, the audience cheered a lot with all the references and the how closely they kept to the story of the overarching story. So yeah, they did well with that. So it's clear to say the fans were pretty impressed with that, as were the amount of YouTubers that made cameos in it. To be fair, I only really recognized one. That was a little bit later, which was MacPac. Um, the others I've not really don't they're not as familiar to me. But yeah, we can. Yeah, I'm sure fans will be totally impressed with all that. Jesus, this is actually a second movie this year that I've seen that YouTubers make appearances in it. The previous was Mutant Mayhem with Mr. Beast, but he was the only one that I'm aware of. But might as well put it on for the rest of this now. For those curious whether this would be on the same scale as how highly I've because I'm not totally an avid fan of the games. Don't I wasn't expecting the same level of nostalgia and you know just experience the whole experience I got from the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I was, though to be fair, I was expecting um, a little bit more with this than Gran Turismo, even though Gran Turismo was a bit of a different film in general. And let's get on with the big issue I have. Well, I'm glad, as I said, there are two main factors that I get from the game, from the overarching series that I see a lot. One is the lore, which they kept pretty well, which they pretty much did well with. The other is the jump scares, and yeah, they suck. Yeah, I'm being honest. I didn't freak out at all. I was expecting at least me one or two got moments to get sort of surprise me. Just- But no, it's pretty tame. I mean, the main method of what the animatronics do with their victims is the same, and yeah, it is a pretty it does it is pretty tense when you actually do see them what that their victims actually uh yeah basically if you haven't played the games is that the animatronics once they attack you stuff you inside an empty suit and turn you into one of them and yeah when you actually do see that it's pretty fun it's pretty yeah it does shock you a bit more so of the uh, second version of it because there's two times this actually does happen. Um, I mean, with victims anyway. But yeah, I didn't get any jump scares at all. I might as well mention this. Maybe I was expecting more to see more of Golden Freddy. He's my favorite of yeah. I'll go from here because I really want to talk. I love Golden Freddy. He's my favorite of the animatronics, and I don't know. He appears a bit at the climax, but and obviously you see the in the dreams you see basically the avatar. Well, you see the spirit that lives inside Golden Freddy. But man, oh man, I wanted more from it. I want to see that poster. That's my favorite. Come on, I just want to see that poster change just to see Golden Freddy show up and something like that. I mean, you can't crash the movie. You can't. uh, crash the movie, like you can fake game crash the game, but like you know what I mean. I wanted more from it. Another thing, I don't think Torador for Carmen, the song Freddy plays when power runs out in the in the games appears at all in this. I mean, at the very least, Freddy could play it, play it when he starts to come alive or something, or gets close. Come on, that's an iconic part of Freddy Fazbear, in general. Another thing is that another thing they also got wrong is I think when it comes to Mike Schmidt, they added too much to the character, which with a movie you got to add more to a character that to someone we didn't actually really know. But then again, they added too much, but then they didn't add enough. Uh, it's basically they gave us a lot of background. They didn't really explain it, so it's like a jumbled mess with Mike. I will say, at least with the sister, it's not too bad. But with something with the subplot as to why he's determined to keep this job is that his aunt also wants custody of his sister. But to be fair, I don't think it was. I don't feel like Scott Cawthon was forced to add that in, so that's why he sort of made sure it didn't really get too much focus and just once he got the chance, he could just end it straight away without any care. So I'm just saying that felt that way. And the other thing, I'm not a big fan that they changed a lot of the layout of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Like the main locations are still there as they were in the game where you looked into everything. But I don't know, just like the main hall, uh, in the original game, the main hall where Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie are, the, it's at I would say I wouldn't say the center, but basically at the near the entrance. And Pirates Cove, which is where Foxy resided, was a little bit further away. However, in this case, Freddy, Chica, and Foxy is actually pretty close to where the Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie are. I I don't get it. I kind of wanted to see. I can sort of get it, at least when they get to when we reach night four, night 3 and 4, in the movie. But no. I kind of would have liked to see them keep close to that, and you know, actually see a full on Pirates Cove because you don't really get to see that. Yeah, in the movie. Yeah, but yeah, I guess I should end off by talking about the two main actors in this. John Hutchison. I It's been a long time since I think he's alright in this. He's not perfect, but I think for Mike's character, where he's a bit gone on in his mind, he does all right. But you know, if anything, I think if you're gonna, I think this is nowhere near his best work. It's not Hunger Games material. From So yeah, it's whatever. He did okay with what he had. And then there's Matthew Lillard. I mean, I think it's worth knowing. I'm a big Matthew Lillard fan. I mean, when I heard it was in this, I was like, all right, it's just a bit of a in joke considering he's the voice of Shaggy Rogers and Scooby Doo. But um, who his character actually is in regards to the main story, like I just feel like that's even bigger joke. Like I think pretty much Scott Cawthon, the moment he realized Lillard was in this, he was like, and looking to his resume, he's like, all right, I know what to do. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that was just a bit of just a joke in general, considering that Matthew Lillard's the voice of Shaggy in Scooby Doo, and now he's this character, Five Nights at Freddy's. Jeez, oh man, like I gotta laugh at it just because I just feel like that was just it. They knew what they had and they just had to do it. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah. What with that said, Five Nights at Freddy's. This is a film for the fans, and I really mean it. Like fans of the games and those who follow the games and read the books and everything. In general, though, as for me, I mean, there is an S. I didn't think this was a dis. Um. Oh, geez, what can I say? I mean, um, I think this isn't really a good movie. It's enjoyable, but it's not good because there are a lot of problems in this. Um, whether or not I think this is worse, I had a worse experience watching this than I did with Barbie. It's debatable because I feel like there were a lot more uh, issues I had a lot more problems that infuriated me with Barbie more than it did with this. But uh, for what it is, it's enjoyable, but it's not good. So it's a 3.5 out of 10 has stars. Like, it seems strange that I'm doing this, but sometimes you get these films that you had, a good time watching, but then you have to really think about like, yeah, it's not really that good. Yeah. You get that every now. So what's next? Well, in terms of movies in theaters, next will be the Marvels. Um, in terms of what else I've got in store for reviews, maybe I need to go back to Mario for a bit and get and review Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I gotta give a review of that at some point very soon. So yeah, that probably will be next. But in the meantime, House of Past Reviews is out, and happy Halloween. Ciao.